I'm Slim Shady and I'm against censorship. There are various reasons why I'm against censorship. One of them is that I want to send a message to my fans. Also, I have my own freedom of speech, and children will still find ways of finding the uncensored version as they're very smart. And of course, I want to express myself. For example, in the song Bully, I state he's acting like a bully, so he's trying to push and pull me. This shows that I've suffered from bullying when I was a lot younger. Therefore, I've decided to take my anger out through not through violence, but in a more healthy way, which is through my lyrics. So in the song Kill You, when I say, "Cause Shady will fucking kill you," this is my technique of expressing my emotions. However, censorship restricts me from expressing how I feel and telling my personal story to my fans, as many of the words that I use to show my emotions will be censored. A certain fan, Isabel Esling, in 2003 stated, "I also used to care about people's opinion about me. I didn't dare talking back when somebody insulted me. Thanks to Eminem's Just Don't Give a Fuck attitude, I now dare expressing my own opinions no matter how people will judge me or call me. I have become self-confident. If I had censored my music, I'd potentially not be able to reach out to my fans and affect this young woman. I positively influenced her life by expressing my own personal emotions. Lastly, as an artist, I should be able to release the content that I please. Yet the censorship that there is on music nowadays restricts me from creating and sharing the music that I want. And what I don't think many people understand is that if viewers are offended by explicit lyrics, then they should just not listen to anything I release. The words I speak should not be censored to accommodate the small number of people who are offended by curse words.
I'm Eminem's record label, Aftermath Entertainment. After Eminem left Death Row Records, I signed Eminem in 2001, which helped start kick his career. The turning point for our record label was when Eminem's Slim Shady album reached number 2 on the Billboard 200. However, the song The Real Slim Shady on the album got a large number of complaints, including a $7,000 fine from some of the lyrics, which were said to be vile and disgraceful by the Federal Communications Commission, which I fully disagree with, as we want all of our artists to be able to express themselves and their opinions without having to censor them. For the artist's sake and for the fans' sake, so they can enjoy the song the way the artist intended them to, such as Eminem.
I'm a massive fan of Eminem, and according to the Oxford Dictionary, the meaning of freedom is the power or right to act, speak and think as one wants. Censorship goes against this people's right to freedom. By preventing free access to information, it is argued that the government is fostering ignorance in its citizens. Censorship is delaying the inevitable. Nowadays, kids are so technologically advanced that even by censoring the media, they will still manage to find a way around it. Furthermore, who gets to be the judge of what is appropriate on a social level and what is not? It's ironic that as a democratic nation, we do not have the ability to decide for ourselves what is and what isn't appropriate. In fact, by Eminem says, "Condom on my dick, of course it is." So in a way, he is promoting safe sex to his younger audience. Eminem has inspired and influenced millions of people with his music. People criticise him for his sickening and childish lyrics, when you only have to look into the meaning behind the songs to realise the power of his musical genius. People relate to him because he talks in real terms about struggles in life that many people have to face. They feel that he is speaking for them and this influences them, and that's where he gets his real power. He uses his power of influence for good by founding his own charity named the Marshall Mathers Foundation, assisting disadvantaged youths in his hometown of Detroit and all over America. Eminem was the best-selling artist of the 2000s and the 93rd best artist of all time according to the Rolling Stones magazine. He has sold over 155 million albums. Eminem also broke the barrier of white people in the rap industry, not only being one of the first successful white rap artists, but being one of the most famous and successful rap artists of all time. Eminem's music has turned the problems in Michigan into a matter of blue-collar pride. This is a prime example in the Chrysler commercial several years back, which features Lose Yourself. Lose Yourself is a song that brings Detroit together and created a sense of pride for the people of Detroit.
I'm a parent and I'm against censorship. As a parent, I think that you should have the choice of whether or not you want to introduce your kids to a certain type of music. And I think it was said in a newspaper that the decision about whether or not to do so, allowing your children to listen to types of music, is entirely in the hands of a parent, not the state's. It depends on the parents' preferences of what they want their children to be exposed to. Some parents trust their children not to repeat what they hear, whereas others may worry for their child's influence. It is down to the parents to educate their kid on what is wrong and what right in the world, and it's the parents' responsibility to check whether their kids are suffering and whether they should be listening to the music. This was shown in the Marilyn Manson case, when Eminem said on it that the kids were crazy already, and it's the parents' fault for not checking that they were okay. On this, as well as this, a parent once said that after hearing her young child's cursing after listening to a hip-hop song, the mother said those are naughty words, don't say them again, and the child never saw again. This shows that if the mental health of kids needs to be monitored by the parents, and the parents should know their kids well enough to notice if anything is wrong, whether they should be listening to that type of music. It's also under the United Nations Convention that the particular rights of the child allows them to listen to whatever they want to listen to. It says the right to freedom of expression, the right to freedom to seek, receive and impart information and ideas of all kinds of frontiers, either orally, in writing or in print, and in the form of art or any other media that the child chooses. Larry Magid also said that they have the freedom to express themselves and seek out information and opinions. This shows that it is against the law to prevent a child from making their own judgment on things that they listen to. Children grow up with the basis of what is right and wrong. They know not to do drugs, and they are taught the negative impact in school. They know not to kill or get involved in crime, which is just basic understanding. So you need to trust your child is secure enough to not be encouraged by negative messages in media. Anne from the Chicago Now said they aren't necessarily going to do what they hear in songs. I'm a middle-aged mum who likes rap, yet I've never shot anybody. On this, Eminem said, when I was 11 years old, I was getting tapes from Ice-T, which I wasn't supposed to be getting, but I was getting it. And I feel today kids are a lot smarter than we give them credit for. So, and he said, I never went out and raped a girl, I never shot anybody. And he was listening to Ice-T, and he didn't do anything wrong. So kids are going to get it nowadays regardless. Unless kids are already crazy, the lyrics aren't going to affect them. If they're crazy, they're going to do it anyway. There's also been no correlation found between the impact of music and shooting games and the murderous behaviour of kids. Adam Lanza, the culprit behind the Sandy Hook school shooter, played arcade game Dance Dance Revolution for up to 30 hours a week, yet media tried to blame the shooting on his obsession with video games. He played non-violent games including Mario Kart, which had no negative influence. In the Huffington Post, they said, I don't think it has any impact on the behaviour of growing up too fast, it's just music. This shows that the influence of songs and media cannot affect the child, because the child should have a basic understanding of what is right and wrong, and it's down to the parent to seek professional help if the parent thinks they shouldn't be listening. In Eminem's songs, he also promotes equality when he says that it doesn't matter whether you're a fag or a les. You're not homophobic, you're heterophobic. This shows that his songs, even though they may include more explicit words, they're just promoting equality, and he's just showing his message for a powerful way.
I'm Institutions, and I'm for the censorship against Eminem. One institution that helps with the censorship is Ofcom. Their duty to ensure that under 18s aren't allowed to prologue the harmful or offensive material that is shown within music videos. That would be the Code 1 of Ofcom's regulations and standard in broadcasting. The audience concerned about the offensive language was shown when Ofcom done a recent research in August 2010 where 75% of parents claimed that their children were able to hear certain strong languages and violent scenes on TV and elsewhere. The rules in Section 1 Code of Service to ensure that appropriate protection for being under 18 from broadcast content is unsuitable for the under 18s. The relationship to radio and in the concept of where children are practically likely to be listening, whether that be on TV as well. When it comes to Eminem and his lyrics, when it comes to his mental health as well, the song from his album Insane, the song Relapse, has lyrics such as, I was born with a dick in my brain, yeah, fucked in the head, my stepfather said that I sucked in the bed, I want my dick sucked in the shed, After I fuck you in the butt, get some head. Bust a nut, get some rest. The bastard won't even eat, just hung himself in the bed. Stick a fucking cigarette in his neck. Go fuck his brains out if any is left in his head. Fuck him in the arse, suck the cum out while you're bleaching. Only get naked when the babysitter helps me. It's called arse rape. We should do the jail scene. And that's just along those psychological lines of being mentally insane. Sorry. As well as that, in other songs such as Rap God, he makes references to you fags, you let them off, then I'm reloading, got your mum deep throating, as well as one of the lyrics lines is, I take 7 kids from Columbine, put them all in a line, an AK-47, a revolver, and 9, and he'll shoot them. Now, the Columbine reference in that lyric was to a school shooting that happened in America. This took part when, on April 20th, 1999, when 2 kids went to the Columbine High School in Littleton, Colorado, killing 13 people and wounding 20, and then soon turning their guns on themselves and committing suicide. Now, these 2 children that were a part of it, Harris and Keyboard, these were a part of the Trenchcoat Mafia. The Trenchcoat Mafia was realised in 1998 in school yearbooks. They were variously described as being obsessed with guns, Nazis, the military, the internet, rock singer Marilyn Manson, and goth rock culture. When it came to looking into the investigation of the shooting, Marilyn Manson was put under pressure due to the fact that they believed his lyrics influenced these children. A bit about Marilyn Manson was that he had a punk rock and a grunge musical, Murder. He also was known as the Reverend for the Church of Satan. And the media eventually blamed Marilyn Manson for his satanic identity as one of the main influences of the Columbine massacre. This further was led on by research into the psychological health of the 2 children and Marilyn Manson. When it came to Harris and Keybold's psychological reference, they looked into the social learning theory, which was an experiment performed by Bandora A. Ross in the 1961, showing that how children see role models and how they will copy their acts, whether that be through music or through their actions. So due to these children copying these actions of Marilyn Manson through his lyrics, as well as other songs that other artists produce, it's Ofcom's reasoning and duty to make sure that certain lyrics be censored so children can't be harmed.
Well, coming back to the point about my mental health, do you not think maybe that's how I want to come to grips with my emotions and how I want to express myself through my music with those sort of lyrics?
With those kind of things, with mental health, many people have that, but it is the Ofcom's regulations to censor some of those for certain people, ages, like I said. Back with the Section 1 of the Code of Conduct, it is for those under 18, anyone older than 18 may listen to those lyrics. And obviously, as being 18, that passes as an adult, so they'd be able to listen to that. But those under 18, it's under their parents' laws. So, as we said, that statistic of 75% of parents complain, that has gone up in the last couple of years. So that's why we censorship just for those under the age of 18.
Well, did you not think maybe that people under the age of 18 might suffer from mental health issues as well, that might want to listen to my lyrics and be influenced by them?
If certain children under the age of 18 do suffer with mental health issues, that is not for Ofcom. Ofcom, like I said, provides the censorship for those that don't have that mental illness, as well as the safety of children that parents don't want them. Any child that does have mental health issues would obviously need to be seen by a psychiatrist, a doctor, a psychologist, and that would purely come under the parents.
Shouldn't it be the parents' job to decide how mature their child is and whether they should be able to watch something? It should be down to the parents and the schools to educate their children on what is morally right and wrong, allowing them to freely watch or listen to Eminem, and being able to recognise that that is wrong.
It's a good question statement. Personally, like I said, Ofcom just censors those for the under age 18. Again, it goes back to the parents, back to the school. They can teach children not to do these things. You gave some good points, as well as someone else said, you know, parents have told their children not to do it and they don't do it. But as you also said, they live in a technological era where they're able to get access to anything. So we only provide as much as we can. We will only censor as much as we can that's provided. But if anyone else out there on the internet or anywhere else that provides that non-censorship song, we cannot go over there and do that. We only regulate under MTV, the radio such as BBC One, as well as AKA music channels.
Well, I've been listening to Eminem since I was very young, and now I'm aiming to be a doctor. So clearly there is no correlation between listening to the music and how you act.
That's a good statement again, but again, it's just going back to the point of psychological issues that go on. You might not be a psychological person, you might be a very healthy mental person, so those lyrics don't offend you. But when it comes to someone that has psychological damage, whether that be going back to a man's song of maybe someone that's mentally abused or physically abused, sexually abused, I was born with a dick in my brain, my stepfather said that I sucked in the bed. Anyone that has those troubles as a young child will obviously grow up with some mental health issues.